It's gonna start. Welcome to Space Summary. Today is gonna be the session for October 26th to November 14 of 2024. Let's see what is new and exciting in the world of space and technology. So first we have Blue Origin and their Deluge system. They're having permit issues similarly to how SpaceX is having issues with Texas. Blue Origin is having issues with the department in Florida for the environmental protection. Oh boy. So it sounds like they've filed for a permit quite a while back, but no permit has been issued yet. Not entirely sure exactly what the holdup is, but I know Blue Origin is working on their launch of New Glenn. More on that a little bit later. Next, we have the Skylon program. That is bankrupt. So Reaction Engines Limited has gone bankrupt, and Skylon project is dead. So Skylon was the reusable single-stage to orbit spaceplane by a British company called Reaction Engines Limited, and they were supposed to be using Sabre, a combined cycle air-breathing rocket propulsion system. So it was meant to take off from a runway and reach an orbit using, of course, the air-breathing rocket propulsion system. And it was under development with some of the key technologies being tested as successful. And it was designed initially to carry 17 tons of cargo to low Earth orbit, or about 11 tons to the ISS, or about 7.3 tons to geosynchronous transfer orbit. It would, of course, re-enter the atmosphere and land on a runway similar to how a plane would, and have a turnaround time of about 2 days. It was expected to have about 200 orbital flights per vehicle. Of course, none of that will be happening anymore, given that the company has gone bankrupt and laid off almost everybody. Next, we have NICER. It found the fastest spinning object known to man. So the 4U 1820 30 neutron star was observed by NASA's NICER X-ray telescope. It's, of course, fitted with star tracker technology from DTU Space and mounted just outside the International Space Station. It discovered the fastest rotating object ever observed at 716 rotations per second. Or if you want to convert that into per minute, it would be just shy of 43,000 rotations per minute. Now, if you were to compare that to an internal combustion engine, where the crankshaft on average has a revolution about 1,500 to 2,000 rotations a minute. A lot faster. I can only imagine the speed of that. So there's more evidence building for Planet 9. So strengthening the case for the hypothetical planet that's estimated to be about several times the size of Earth, as well as several times its mass. It's supposed to be beyond Neptune, but we haven't found its exact location yet. So scientists have found, of course, an unusual clustering of distant trans-Neptunian objects that could explain for the gravitational pull of this massive unseen body. Simulations show that a planet with a mass of 5 to 10 times that of Earth could shape the observed orbits that we're witnessing, as well as some of the galactic forces alone that cannot account for the anomalies. So upcoming telescope surveys, including those of the Vera Rubin Observatory, are expected to further investigate Planet 9's existence. The Vera Rubin Observatory is located in Chile and expected to have its first light in January 2025, so just a couple months away. Also, a fun fact, Neptune's existence was theorized for years before its observation in 1846. So we suspected its presence because Uranus orbit didn't match our predictions, suggesting an unseen gravitational influence. And just as a sort of a comparison, just looking at the imaging of Pluto over time, you see in 1930 we could barely see Pluto in the great detail that we got many years later in 2015 from New Horizons space probe. So really excited and really interested to see if in the future we will find out if there's a Planet 9. Woo! And the telescope that we had in Puerto Rico, it collapsed back in December 1st, 2020. But now, 4 years later, we finally have sort of an explanation. Now, leading up to that collapse on December 1st, we sort of knew that it was going to happen because there was a series of cable failures over a 4-month period. The first socket, of course, failed on August 10 of 2020. Then the second one failed on November 6 of 2020, with the third one failing on December 1st of 2020, causing the 900-ton receiver platform to fall about 450 feet and crash into the dish below. So the collapse of this telescope was largely due to zinc creep. And that's where constant stress caused by zinc in the cable sockets deforms over time, loosening the cables. Unique to the telescope's design, its powerful electromagnetic emissions likely induced small currents in the zinc-filled sockets, accelerating this deformation. This effect, combined with the long-term stress and damages sustained from hurricanes, weakened the structural cables, eventually leading to its catastrophic collapse as the zinc sockets could no longer bear the weight of the 900-ton receiver platform, causing its collapse. Also, fun fact, this telescope was famously featured in the final scene of James Bond GoldenEye. Very exciting and very sad to see this telescope go. Latest news is that they're building an educational center in its place, but not replacing this telescope itself due to the cost. 31 cargo missions later to the ISS, the SpaceX Dragon has learned a new trick. So it achieved a significant milestone of supporting the ISS. On November 8th, the Dragon cargo spacecraft docked with the ISS and performed its first ever orbital reboost maneuver. Using its Draco thrusters, it raised the station's orbit a little higher. So that boost lasted about 12.5 minutes, so 12 and a half minutes. The mission, of course, was a CRS 31, so the 31st cargo mission to the ISS. It launched on November 4th and performed its first ever reboost of the ISS on November 8th. And look at that image of the boosters going at it. Very cool. Another world first is we have the first wooden satellite launched into space. So this is the LignoSat. It was launched on November 4th to the ISS. And the main objectives of using this was really material testing, so to evaluate the wood's performance in space conditions, such as looking at temperature fluctuations and radiation, as well as environmental impact, looking at whether wood is an eco-friendly alternative to metals that are commonly used in satellites. And of course, with an aim to reduce emissions upon re-entry. Future applications, of course, interested to see if there's potential in using wood in space construction, as well as structures on the moon or Mars, and of course data collection, gathering data on wood's behavior in space over its 6-month-long mission. This LignoSat is expected to be released into orbit from the ISS in early December 2024. In other news, we have Elon Musk with the victory of Donald Trump in the United States of America on elections for the presidential candidacy on November 5. Elon Musk is expected to head the Department of Government Efficiency, or as he termed it, DOGE. Yeah, we all know Elon Musk's stance on government regulation. He felt that it is overbearing and really slowing down innovation. So, looking to see how this will further the space race that's now happening worldwide and where it will place the United States of America in the global, I guess, race. And related to that, we have Eric Berger. He is questioning, well, there's rumors that the SLS, the Space Launch System, may be canceled. And it's about a 50-50 shot. And this is just, I guess, a little bit over a week after that presidential election was completed. So interesting stuff. We'll see what will happen. Many people have criticized the Space Launch System as being essentially just a jobs program for many states in America, with not much realistic value in it. But we will see what time will hold for this program. Looks like it's about a 50-50 shot as to whether it'll continue or whether it will be canceled outright. In more exciting news, we have Starship Flight 6. It's expected to launch on November 18, Monday, November 18. Now, they actually painted a little banana for scale icon on the Starship S-31. I don't think it's entirely to scale, given that enormous size of the spacecraft, but it is really funny to see that they still have some humor in the space programs that are run by Elon Musk's team. Really excited to see this catch. They're going to attempt a catch again for the heavy booster. It is going to be the same launch profile as before, as FAA already approved a second launch beforehand, even before Flight 5 was occurring. They don't have approval for any different flight profiles at this time, so they're going to just modify a few things, tweak their systems and processes a little bit better so they can fine-tune their catch. Exciting stuff. And related news to Starship, they're going to be doing their first refuel test in 2025 in orbit. They're going to try to transfer fuel from one heavy booster, or sorry, maybe not heavy booster, but the Starship, from one Starship to another. Let's see how that will work. Or it might be I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on this, but they will do a refuel test in 2025. It might be the heavy booster. Not sure anymore. But imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So we have Cosmoleap, a Chinese company that is trying to build the same catch mechanism as Starship and the Super Heavy program. And not just them. There's another recent announcement from China's Aviation Corporation. They unveiled a reusable cargo shuttle designed for, of course, low-cost resupply missions to their Tiangong space station. The winged shuttle will launch atop a rocket and dock with the space station and return horizontally, just like a plane would, back to Earth, supporting a decade-long plan to expand the station. And this spacecraft is designed to be lighter than their other capsules that they've been using, allowing for cargo retrieval from the space station, unlike the current design that's more disposable. The shuttle aerodynamic design will, of course, aim to have an enhanced efficiency and reusability. In other news, the Chinese Mars rover, it finds evidence of Martian shoreline. Oops, missed a little E there. But they were filtering through data from the Zhurong Chinese Mars rover, and they found evidence of ancient Martian shoreline. The rover did not power up on December 2022 due to the excessive dust accumulation on its panels. according to its rover's chief designer. So the rover hasn't been around for at least about 2 years now, but the data that it collected is still revealing very interesting stuff. In other news, Starlink spy satellites, they see everything. The National Reconnaissance Office has launched a new constellation of spy satellites built, of course, by SpaceX, and they're marking significant advancements in their surveillance capabilities. This proliferated architecture, it consists of numerous mass-produced satellites in low Earth orbit, allowing for frequent imagery of nearly all locations on the planet for near real-time tracking. Exciting stuff for the, I guess, the Homeland Defense and the security services of the United States of America. And in other news, we have New Glenn. Their stages have been mated. Their first and second stage have been put together, and this was on a tweet that the company issued on November 12. No static fire date has been established yet, but previous announcements have said that their launch was expected no earlier than this month of November. Given that we're already halfway through November, I would imagine that their launch might be delayed even more. Space is very complicated and you want to get everything right. Unless you're taking the SpaceX approach where you rapidly reiterate as you go along. And finally, we have the X-37B. It completes aero braking maneuver. So this maneuver was first completed on October 27 of 2023. However, a statement was only recently issued by the United States Space Force almost a year later on October 10 of 2024. So the U.S. Space Force's X-37B, which was actually made by Boeing, has completed a unique aero braking maneuver, allowing it to change orbit without using fuel. That's really exciting and new maneuver. And this technique, of course, conserves propellant and enables potentially longer missions in advancing the space capabilities of the spacecraft and other spacecraft that would potentially use that same maneuver. Now, the transparency about this maneuver is unusual, sparking some curiosity amongst about like the strategic purpose, signaling that there's some U.S. space innovation, and some believe this openness may encourage other nations to share their own space activities, while demonstrating the potential military and scientific uses of the X-37B. Now, that is all for this week. I wish you all the best and see you again next time. Please subscribe, like, and follow for more. Thank you very much.